Hello everyone, it's Annie, and today I am doing a video that I've been wanting to do or thinking about doing for a long time now. It's about the books that I read during therapy. And I was a little bit unsure about whether or not to make this video, but in the end I think that it might be helpful to some people, and if it helps some people, I will be very happy. So that's why I decided to make this video. And let's get started. So first, I want to talk about this book, Start Where You Are by Mira Lee Patel. It is a journal of self-exploration. It is something that I used every appointment, and it's really, really good for self-exploration and learning about yourself. There are a ton of different prompts, beautiful quotes on each page, and a lot of prompts like this, color in the world map to see where you want to go or where you have gone already, and things like write down your most favorite daring dream, and this is an interesting one. Fill in the tiger outlines with 3 of your biggest fears. So it has prompts like that, and I felt like it was really, really valuable, and it helped me see things that I had to be grateful for in my life and not just concentrate on the bad that was going on. And I think it helps also to look towards the future and the opportunities and possibilities that everyone has for the future and focus on that instead of the past, which you can't change. So I really, really recommend this book. And my therapist also recommended the sequel to this book, which I will put on screen. I have not done it. I don't own it, but it's called, Made Out of Stars. It's also really pretty. I absolutely love all of the illustrations in this and the quotes. They really add something to it. So I recommend both of these if you're looking to journal and get to know yourself a little bit better. And then I read Why Does He Do That? About how to deal with abusive men, and I think this book was very, very comprehensive. However, I think it's more valuable if you take just the chapters that apply to you or your situation and read it, because some of the chapters dealt a lot with children and custody, which I am not dealing with or have ever dealt with and hope to never deal with. But there were some interesting insights, especially about narcissistic personalities and how that can be a very bad, harmful relationship. And I really recommend this book to anyone remotely who may even think that they're struggling with something like this. Definitely read this, because it can open your eyes and make you see things that maybe you had brushed off before and didn't realize how bad the behavior was. So yes, I recommend this. The next book we worked with was Nonviolent Communication, which is about how to argue non-violently, or basically we did a lot of work on passive, passive-aggressive, aggressive, and assertive communication. And assertive is where you want to be. You want to assert your own feelings and your rights as a human being, but you don't want to be aggressive, and you also don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum, which I was, and I'm still working on improving the passive section. You don't want to be too passive and let people walk all over you, and then passive-aggressive, you feel like you can't get angry, but you are angry, so you want to lash out, and that's when you end up being passive-aggressive, and that is not conducive to anything. So being assertive is really what you want to do, and this book will help you learn to do that. And then my therapist recommended Transform Your Boundaries, which I also read another book about boundaries called Making Space, which I think is better. But really it all says the same things, it's just depending on the format and the style of writing. But it is so important. I think learning about boundaries was the most important thing that I learned in my therapy. I could not believe how weak my boundaries were, and they are so, so important for your happiness in life. It is so important to know when to say no, and again, when to not be passive and let others' wants and emotions come before your own feelings. Like, no, you don't do that. And you can cut out whoever you want. You're not obligated to do anything for anyone else. So it's really about striking a balance between being a generous, kind person and also looking out for yourself. Because we all know the saying that you can't help others if you don't first help yourself. You know, you can't, what is it? You can't serve from a glass half empty or something like that. I don't know. But it really is true. And boundaries are super, super important. So honestly, even if it isn't one of these two books I mentioned, read any book about boundaries that you can find. It will help you so, so much. The next book we read was Self-Compassion by Kristin Neff. I had actually read this many years ago and we revisited it. And I think this book is so, so good. It is really, really important and valuable. I really love the ideas that she has in this book. I'll try to remember some of them. I don't have any notes for this. I'm going off my memory. So first she talks about recognizing the human condition as a whole and like human solidarity. Because a lot of the time when we have negative self-talk, we think about like, oh, why is this happening to me? You know, everyone else is happy and I'm not. And that's not the case. So it's really important to put things in perspective. That isn't to say that you're downplaying your own problems or suffering, but you're recognizing that everyone does have their own struggles, and that's not something to be ashamed of or angry about, or, well, maybe you can be angry about it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not comparing your struggles to someone else's and saying, oh, they have it so much worse, so, you know, I'm such a bad person for feeling bad. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. But she says it way more eloquently in her book, so I recommend you read it. And also just being kind to yourself. Again, it goes back to that concept that you can't help others before you help yourself. Like, if you are in a bad place, you're not going to be able to make good connections with the people around you. It's just not going to happen. And this book really, really helps, especially with recognizing when you're having, like, negative thoughts about yourself and what to do about it. So this is probably the book that I recommend the most for everyone, even if you don't want to, you know, go to therapy or you're perfectly fine. I think this book would still be valuable to read. And the last book I actually have not worked with, but my therapist recommended to me. It is The Mystery of Knowing Journal, A Writing Odyssey to Be True to Who You Are by Sari Gilman. So this is a guided journal similar to Start Where You Are, I suppose, and it will support your true self as you dive deeply into the reflecting process through writing to increase your self-care, experience more joy, and grow healthy boundaries. We're seeing a theme here, aren't we? Yes. So I think this journal is just, you know, another type of journal, maybe a different style. Like I said, I haven't tried it, so I'm not sure. But I think any kind of self-reflecting journal, especially a guided one, if this is like your first time journaling, would be really, really helpful overcoming any type of struggles that you may be facing. Like, I never really liked to journal, I never did it, but having these prompts, and I'm assuming this book also has prompts because it's guided, really helped me, you know, think about things that maybe I wouldn't have even thought of if the book hadn't brought them up. So yeah, these are the books that my therapist recommended to me and we worked with. I was very fortunate that she was so nice and a really, really good fit for me, and because she knew I liked reading so much, so she had me read a lot of books and it was so helpful to me. So I hope any of these books could be helpful to you, and if you didn't find something useful here, I would really like the chance to try and help you find something that might be helpful for you. So let me know down in the comments what kind of book you're looking for so I can try and find a recommendation for you. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I was a little bit nervous because of how personal it is, but I again hope this was helpful, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!